SOG Mini brochure comes in the box of your SOG knife or multi-tool, probably very familiar to SOG fans around the world. I'm going to jump inside, quick peek to intro this old school Nutnfancy knife review. Thanks for watching, guys. Knife show alive and well in the Nutnfancy project. Stay subscribed, you'll see what I mean. Check it. First up, multi-tools by SOG. They're alright. I have a hard time warming up to them. Don't dig the wings so much, which occlude tool access. Don't like it. It's overly complicated. Grinds on the blade. See, I'm getting distracted already. They're good multi-tools, don't get me wrong. I generally prefer some others that I've reviewed. Leatherman, Swiss Tool, stuff like that. They're very good. If you guys want another review of a SOG multi-tool, let me know in the comments of this video. I'll try to work it in. Lots on the plate, you know how it works. Folding knives. Well, the whole Nutnfancy project kicked off with a folding knife review by SOG. Witness SOG Flash 1. 1.2 ounces, reference EDC. Love it. Nothing I don't like about it. It is just excellent all the way around. Lots of other great folding knives. We're going to talk about another one I'll get to here in just a second. Fixed blades by SOG. Oh, man, they just do such good work on it. I just did my SOG agency review. Legacy of Fight. I love that name, by the way. Getting actually pretty epic views. I'm very surprised. SOG Bowie 2.0. Haven't really reviewed that knife specifically. I've talked around it a lot, and some of the other stablemates like the Tech Bowie are very similar. Great blade shape. All the weights are very similar. Just gorgeous, well executed, high quality blades. Pentagon. I need to review that. Uh-oh, now that I've said it, I'm just going to hear lots of people saying, yeah, you do. When's the Pentagon review coming? I actually love the Pentagon for what it's intended to do POU wise. The Twitch major model did that. Getting distracted. Didn't do the XL. I don't know about the XL. I like the regular Twitch. Tomcat 3.0. Never going to review that. Too heavy. Sorry. Don't dig it. Don't like the grind. No offense. Access Card 2.0. Nope. Warncliffe blade. Not digging it. These are some of your favorites, no offense, but I'm just keeping it real. How about that one? SOG Aegis. Oh man, now okay. You guys already know I don't like that blade shape. If you like it, that's fine. Or the serrations, too coarse. But the reason I'm introing with this brochure, there is a reason, is because check out what's on the front. This is like their lead knife. Oh, nice. It is a Hall of Famer, if you didn't know it, in the Nutnfancy project. Say hello to the full-size SOG Aegis and Digicam. A home run on just about every front. This sucker, let's see it in real life, 3.2 ounces. Reviewed here in TMP, highly recommended in TMP. This is one of my personal backpacking favorites. In fact, when I went out with Buddy Crockett 20 on Moonscape, SOG Aegis full size came along for the ride. It has gone on several backpacking trips. As I'm going through my drawer, I need to show you guys that sometimes, my knife drawer. You'll probably be very disappointed. It's knives you've seen over and over again. If you look at my Hall of Fame playlist, you'll see most of those in there. These are just, you know, epic blades that I use. But this comes along. I'm just weighing different alternatives. What knife do I take with me? What do I want to do with the knife? Like I said in this video, this is a extremely lightweight and very fast tactical blade. An emergency defensive tool, yes, you can flex into everyday carry with it. Utility knife. But for me, it's primarily the former. And when I bring a knife in the backcountry, you know, in the back of my mind, I wouldn't mind having that defensive tool capability and also food preparation. I think the SOG Aegis works great for that. Full flat ground. So lightweight. 3.2 ounces? Insanity. Beautiful pocket clip. However, if you're very committed to the EDC roll for your SOG Aegis blade, and by the way, man, I've run into a lot of TMPers that have this knife. That I've ran into SHOT Show. I ran into two guys that had SOG Aegises. One was in Digicam, one was in pure black. Digging the blade. Man, I have fun meeting with you guys, talking. We just have a great time. I try to show you guys the TMPers I meet personally on camera. Will a real TMPer stand up or some title like that? I'll show you these guys. And it's fun checking in with your guys' EDC systems. A lot of which, you know, you bought from my recommendations. Awesome. Appreciate it. And sometimes I learn from your own systems too. I'm always learning. But very happy. I haven't ran into anybody personally that was not happy with their full-size SOG Aegis. However, I know some guys like me may think it's a little bit on the large size for a utility blade. I would definitely not criticize its weight. The 3.2 ounces is under my, preferred 4-ounce goal for a tactical blade. Well under it, actually. For EDC, is it a little heavy? I don't know. Just depends. Probably not for most guys. I engrave that too. I'm always engraving to mark it in case, as I loan it to people, it gets back to me for one. And two, I always check the hardness of the steel when I do that. If it engraves very tough, I know it's a pretty hard steel. AUS 8, medium steel, medium hardness. Anyways, the subject of this review is not the full-size Aegis. Say hello to Mini Aegis. Oh, in black this time. Dude, that is hot looking. Black titanium nitride. Oh, love it. Love it, love it, love it. Been carrying this EDC style for a couple weeks now, and I'm just in love with it. I like it as much as a SOG Aegis full size. And this is a model number that you can see right here. There you have it. What's not to like about it? Let's attempt to be organized. I will attempt to, no promises. Philosophy of use, EDC blade, dude. Okay, just like I said on this one, this can EDC too. In fact, the guys I've met personally carrying this, they're doing it more for utility purposes, not for defensive purposes. Let me tell you this right now. I'm going to kind of bounce on into steel and blade shape. This is not the all blade shape for some people. In other words, if you anticipate a lot of use towards the tip of your blade, you may just bust it off on the SOG Aegis. And I think there have been some complaints about guys doing just that, is that it is a relatively delicate tip. Not relatively, it is. Okay, you can't ask your blade to do everything for you though, and what you get with a SOG Aegis, either full size or the Mini, is a very precise, surgically precise in some ways, blade tip. When is that useful? We're talking philosophy of use. How about in the field surgeries, digging out splinters, wood? Very helpful. And man, I can't tell you how many times I continue to do that with my knife on myself and sometimes on other people. And this just happens to be the most precise instrument I have on my person. The SOG Aegis is just perfect for that. Also, just detail work. You need to dig into something, some wood, opening packages, blister packs. This blade just excels. But you're going to have to use some kind of care with it. Don't expect, and I think I said this in the full-size review, of some very serious and hard use on that tip without some wear and tear. And if you torque it, I'm talking if you're like in wood and then you torque the tip, it's going to break on you. Okay, we're talking physics here, fellas. It's nothing magical. So I think I've heard some guys complain, well, the Aegis tip broke on me. And I'm like, well, it is a delicate tip. I mean, you can't get that precision, the ultimate precision of the SOG Aegis, and expect it to be super strong. Maybe you need to look elsewhere for your needs, which is absolutely fine. I've reviewed lots of other knives, and I'll show you a couple here on the table before the review ends. Okay, so EDC use with amazing surgical precision tip. Love it. And that's also a very awesome penetration tip on most materials. I said that with that blade too. I mean, that sucker can stab. Now, if you stab and then you torque at the same time, especially in something that's a relatively stiff media, leather, cardboard, you're going to bend it and or break it. There you have it. There's the warning. I'm just saying. Size is a 3-inch blade on the Mini Aegis, and it's 3 ounces. No, I said that wrong. It's 2 ounces. That was 3.2 ounces. Just 2 ounces for that? For a 3-inch blade? Man, you can see why I'm in love. The SOG Mini Aegis, dudes, it's got it going on. Blade shape is full flat ground drop point with excellent jimping topside. I mean, just excellent. Said that in the full-size Aegis, nothing's changed. You dig your thumb in there and it locks in. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Love the FFG. Makes it a good slicer. Makes it a good mini food preparation knife. And that's probably what you'll be putting this into service as a lot. Peeling apples, cutting tomatoes, bread, meats. It doesn't have a ton of span. We're talking 3 inches, but then again, it's a very lightweight and very portable knife. Love the blade shape. Has some belly in there too. I talked about that Wharncliffe blade, and I have in several other reviews. Not digging it. Okay, because it wears so much. The Wharncliffe ones I've had, like the leaks I've had. I talk about breaking tips. Wearing your tips, it can happen. But this has a little bit of roll to it. Get it? So if you take care of it, it's going to do quite well. AUS-8 is the steel. It's cryoed, that is cryogenically treated by SOG. What does that do? Well, I think most knife guys know. Relieves stress, produces what they say is better strength, more molecular refinement, big words, and better edge retention. Honestly, from my experience, edge retention from a cryo blade, kind of a hard sell for me. I'm not so sure it does that. Not for me and not for my mileage. I see that an AUS-8 that's been cryoed versus one that has not, about the same age, edge wear down. Speaking of which, now out of the box, I was a little bit disappointed how this came. This is not the factory edge on it. This is my edge that I put on it with the Edge Pro Apex on there. And man, it's a sweet edge. That AUS-8 takes a beautiful edge. Do I need paper here to cut? Probably not. So disappointing. Take it from me. Wicked sharp, love it. AUS-8 medium grade steel, pretty good rust resistance actually, if you take care of it. More so, I'm kind of seeing than HCR13 MOV. Let me show you an example on the table what I'm talking about. Here comes a Kershaw, previously reviewed. This is a Volt 3650. I just pulled this out of the Nutnfancy knife drawer, and my climate's pretty dry. Check out the rust on it. Can you see it? Little pitting, little rust. I believe that's HCR13 MOV, and I keep my blades lightly oiled. Huh, it's a little bit disappointing. Been sharpening some mechanical pencils. That's what the graphite is on it. Anyway, so I'm pointing this out to show you that no blade steel is going to be perfect, and even with HCR13 MOV, which by the way I think takes a very wicked and keen edge, it's got to be taken care of. AUS-8 coming out of the jungle from a TMPer on an Ontario Rat 1. This one was in jungle use for about 2 years. No rust at all. Taken care of, by the way, wiped down with, rim oil. So if you take care of it, it's going to do good. I love the AUS-8 blade steel. It's a great choice. Okay, so full flat ground, huge kudos for that. Let's talk about speed. Assisted opening, just like the SOG Aegis full size, and man, is it fast. Fast, 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 fast. Love it. Sick. Not a flipper design, assisted opening design. Here's your lock, by the way. I generally super glue those, both on the Flash series, the Tridents, and now on the Aegises, because I've accidentally engaged it and then I go and, oh, whoa, crap, the lock's on. Some of you guys may have accidentally deployed your knife in your pocket, your SOGs. I just never have. Never have. And so I don't really have a need for it. But the nice thing, the way SOG does their lock, is it's so unobtrusive. And on these Aegis models, they're actually very positive. Check it. So actually, do you need to super glue it? Probably not, because they will not accidentally engage. The one I've seen some other makers where they would, and you're going to either have to take the lock completely out or do something to affix it like I'm talking about. Okay, speed is phenomenal though for what you get. Man, I love assisted opening knives. Who needs a switchblade? Seriously. Or a very well balanced manual action folder, like I've said a billion times. Speed excellent, lockup strength. Not perfect. What? You love the SOG Mini Aegis, right? I do. Out of box though, and I forget, I didn't watch my review before this. I think there was a little bit of movement in this and I had to tweak it. Same with this. When it came out of box, a little bit of side-to-side play. Now there's none. Check it. No movement side to side at all. And all I did is tweak that Mini Torx pivot screw ever so slightly. I didn't even Loctite this one yet. And when you do that, you just want to get that perfect balance where it's tight, and yet you still get a very fast deployment. You with it? Very, very, very slight amount of movement. Okay, sorry about that, but I'm going to give it to you straight. Very slight movement, but honestly, I really didn't notice it. Lockup and strength, I think, is excellent for the knife. And when I say for the knife, I mean one that thankfully does not have steel liners in it. Breaking out the Preon 2 this tonight in black. Take a look inside the SOG Mini Aegis. That's why the knife is so light. And when I'm talking about strength, I'm talking about a pure Zytel handled EDC blade, which for me personally, I will not subject to, excess torque on the pivot point. So I think it's adequately strong for the role, and that is a utility knife. Actually, emergency tactical knife. I talked about POU, it's pretty much an EDC blade, but you could press it into service to save your life or do something along those lines, which I've talked about a lot. And handle material, which we're talking about right now, Zytel. Okay, and it has some of those rubber traction inserts in it, which I like, and they're not obnoxious, nor do they grab on your pocket too much. A little bit of texturing here, some handle jimping here, not overly impressive. The real jimping is on the blade itself, not here. Some molded in jimping here. I mean, it's okay. The handle is comfortable, just like the full size. As you can see, it works perfectly in the forward grip. I don't know if you ever have to go to reverse grip. Love the handle. Not overly thick either. That's an important dimension, by the way, in your EDC blade, if you ask me. Totally is. And that leads us to ergonomics. I think ergonomically, the SOG Aegis series, including the Mini right here, outstanding. Just in my mileage, in my use, I love them. I think they're perfect. They don't have a thumb ramp, you know, but they do have that really great jimping on the top. The thumb studs. So glad I remembered to mention that. Ambidextrous here. Okay, and by the way, you can swap that clip side to side. Talk about specifics here in just a second. Ambidextrous thumb studs, no volcano issues. Blade centering on this model is excellent. Nice. Love the ergonomics. Clip again. Probably one of the best clips in the industry, these SOG folding knives. You saw it on this Aegis, veteran of many backpacking trips here in TMP, and you see it here again. It's a logo clip, milled out. It's just sick. Buries deep in the pocket, carries it securely. That's another reason, by the way, I reach for a SOG knife when I go backpacking, because it does bury so deeply in the pocket, less likely to get lost. Love that clip. Swappable once again. Beautiful clip, and you can see it doesn't pop out too much. Adequately strong. Sometimes, in my experience, here's a SOG Flash 1, you will need to remove it and bend it more so it provides more tension against your pocket. I've done that with Flash 1s. I've done it with Flash 2s. I may have done it with this Aegis full size. So many knives, hard to remember all the details, but I think I did. Durability. Going back to the first of the video, I think if you are wise on how you use your knife and employ it within its limitations of strength, I think you'll be very happy with the durability. The nice thing is, if you have some problems, send it back to SOG. They'll hook you up. Great customer service from SOG. I've heard nothing but good, and I've used it myself. Great customer service. Durability, I think, will be excellent. Maybe not outstanding. To give outstanding, I'd have to probably get into maybe the category of hard use tactical folder, you know, that's really brutal. Maybe a triad lock from Cold Steel or something where you can really whack on it. But again, keep in mind the philosophy of use of this knife. Honor it. You'll be just fine. Value. I'm going to give it a hit here, guys, because I think the knife is a little bit expensive for what you get. Around $50 for the Mini Aegis. That's a lot. Kind of. I'm going to say kind of because there's some other knives that are basically in the same price range, actually exactly. How about the Delica FFG? Delica 4 FFG, another Hall of Famer here in the Nutnfancy project. That's a $50 knife. So these two knives are the same price. So when I ding this for price, maybe I should ding the Spyderco as well. VG10 steel, AUS 8, non-assisted. This is assisted opening. Deeper carry, still an excellent pocket clip. This is 4-way adjustable pocket clip. This isn't. Thankfully, it's oriented tip up. Thank you very much. Love that. Okay, but I still think the Aegis, if it came down in price, maybe to the $40 price range, I think it would play better against more of its competition. Let me get rid of the full size. You've been looking at that the whole time. I already showed you the Volt. Okay, that's an overseas produced knife. This is actually a U.S. assembled knife from foreign components, is my understanding. So kind of U.S. assembled. Then we've got the excellent OD1 flipper design by, I think Lee Williams designed that, didn't he? That's a 1775. What a sick blade that is. Love it. Where's the weight on that? It's going to be a lot heavier though. The OD1 is 3.4 ounces. So it's basically the weight of the full-size Aegis. Cost is going to be less, $43. This one. Another Hall of Famer, Kershaw Skyline, 2.4 ounces. This one's Duracoated in Black Hawk Coyote Tan by Mission Spec Camo. Love it. $30. Okay, because you kind of see what I'm saying, the competition here. I've already talked about the SOG Flash 1. Here's the Twitch, $45. This is also cryoed AUS 8 blade. I think if this knife came down in price, just $10 or so, I think it would sell better because the competition's fierce out there. and $50 for a small EDC blade. I wouldn't say it's outlandish. That's not what I'm saying. But there's a lot of more cost-effective choices I think guys will gravitate towards. You know, I showed you some on the table just now. Some are the same price, you know, more or less, but there you go. Value, I say, would be moderate. That's what I'm going to term value on the SOG Aegis. Cool factor, sick. Love it. Love the cool factor of the SOG Aegis blades. Available in different finishes. They'll probably change those throughout the years. I've talked about them. I'm showing you two right here. These are my two favorite right here. The Digicam on top. I don't know if this one comes in Digicam. I don't think it does. Pretty much guarantee you it does not. Not yet. SOG, make it in Digicam, the Mini. I'll buy one just for cool factor. I love the looks. I think these are very good looking blades. They're extremely functional. They're fast out of pocket. Great ergonomics. Super, super lightweight. And those phenomenal SOG deep carry pocket clips. No steel liners. Oh, just such well executed blades. The SOG Mini Aegis adds to the lineup, and it's going to give you more capabilities in a smaller platform, which I think with a lot of folks is very popular. That's a Nutnfancy review. Thanks, guys. See ya.